Welcome to the Terrible Take, a mini podcast telling Steelers Nation what's on our minds. I'm Joe Clark. Pittsburgh Steelers center Nate Herbig has had a good camp, and up to this point, he's been the starting center, at least to me. It changed my mind a little bit on Zach Frazier definitively being Pittsburgh's starter. From the daily draft of Zach Frazier through OTAs through minicamp, I had in my head that no matter what, Zach Frazier would be Pittsburgh's starting center. But Herbig, at least throughout training camp, kind of planted some seeds of doubt in my mind. Well, last night's preseason game against Houston changed my mind again. Two botched snaps led to fumbles, although one did actually result in a 4-yard gain. Justin Fields picking up the ball and running with it. And the blame shouldn't all be on Herbig, as Fields is also responsible. They weren't high snaps, they weren't wide snaps. It was just a simple snap exchange issue between the quarterback and the center. And really, that blame does fall on both of them for not figuring it out. But it's still going to affect Herbig in his path to starting at center for the Steelers this season. Frazier took over at center, no issue snapping the ball. He looked good as a blocker. He just generally looked the part of a starting NFL center. Granted, he was going up against backups too, so it's not, you can't definitively say that, oh, he dominated out there. But he looked good. He looked good, and obviously not having any blatant issues snapping the football kind of inflate, at least, he looks a lot better than Herbig, who had those issues. And I do like Herbig, and I think he's a solid depth offensive lineman, can play guard. He can play center. I'm not sure he's really going to be an option to start at center right now with Frazier on this team. His lack of experience in-game at the center position really did shine through. Repping snaps in a practice setting is a lot different than, you have a nose tackle from the other team lined up across from you. And the snap issues last night could cost him the starting center job. We'll see this week in practice if Frazier reps more with the first team. But after last night, even though Herbig's gotten, pretty much all the first team reps up to this point, I'd probably give Frazier the edge when it comes to starting the season under center for Pittsburgh. I wouldn't be surprised if Herbig still puts up a fight and competes, but Mike Tomlin said that he weighs what happens in stadium more than what happens in practice, and it just was not a good in-game showing for Herbig on Friday night. The snapping issues just can't happen, and they happen twice, so it's definitely going to affect his path to winning the job. Be sure to follow us at SteelersDepot.com. Check out episodes of The Terrible Take every day, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Check out The Terrible Podcast with Alex Kazor and Dave Bryan every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Go Steelers.